Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football.
This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. Tonight, we finish off Week 6 with a good Monday nighter between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. This is taken at his 4. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here are the Lions. Number 9, Matthew Stafford under center. And working with a new offensive coordinator this year who has said we are a running team. Not something you hear much nowadays, so it remains to be seen what that will mean for Stafford's numbers in 2019. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
Let's go.
A look at Kerryon Johnson, second-year man out of Auburn. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. To throw is Stafford. James has got it. Complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. And they find themselves just outside the top 10 in the league against the pass, currently bringing up the number 11 spot.
So I'm prepping for this game. I kept asking myself the question, what's keeping this group from being top 10 in the league against the pass?
And
too many mistakes, especially little mistakes. And those add up into big mistakes. Big mistakes add up into points against you.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the others, you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Blake Martinez, the NFC's leading tackler a year ago, in on the stop.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
21. Check.
And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Ready. 180. I got you. Spawn.
From the 41, Stafford, and his throw is incomplete. Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Got a man, it's Amendola. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 24-yard line.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Kerryon Johnson, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
To the air again, Stafford. Over the middle, it's Amendola. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Danny Amendola, his first touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by a man who was undrafted out of Buffalo, standing at 6'7". It's Tyree Jackson.
And it would be interesting to see pretty early in this one exactly where his head is, because the best quarterbacks shake off performances like he had last week. Way too many interceptions. Didn't throw a touchdown pass. Team lost the game. Let's see if he can bounce back and get things going in the right direction.
We'll be trying to forget those 3 picks, as you noted. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. They'll go with their leading rusher from a season ago. This is Aaron Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Quandre Diggs there defensively.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score.
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. The 20, 10, touchdown, Detroit. J.D. McKissick, 81 yards. And the Lions strike quickly here for 6 points. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Time to roll through the starters defensively for Detroit. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
Most of their challenges have come in the passing game because against the run, they've been pretty darn good. Now you've got to figure out a way to slow down those receivers before they get downfield and maybe make a few more plays on the ball when it's in the air.
On second down, it's Jones. Fighting through. Space to maneuver at the 40. And finally marked down at the 42-yard line. A gain there of 30 big ones.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
On 2nd and 12, Jackson caught on the right side by Jones. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Call it a gain of 3. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Jackson, he's got the first down here inside the 30. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 25-yard line. They go back to the ground with Jones. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
16 yards, a first down. Back for the second quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football as they go to work on a 1st and goal. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now Jones. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Aaron Jones, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Crosby connects on the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And the last play in the drive was a touchdown run by Aaron Jones. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Hard to believe, but 6 weeks of the NFL schedule will have come and gone by the conclusion of this one. But coming up Thursday night, a good one to kick off Week 7. Kansas City and Denver from up at Mile High. Kickoff at 8:20 Eastern, 6:20 local there in the midst of the Rockies. Now a play fake here on first down. Za'Darius Smith. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
The pass complete, this one to Danny Amendola. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Let's see what you get.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 2nd and 12, Stafford. When they get the football, they'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. Then you give up the touchdown on the last drive, now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now you got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Second and 5 now. Jackson under a heavy rush, and down he goes. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. And Adams has it, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And they try to sweep to Jones. And Justin Coleman brings him down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. And Graham's got it over the middle. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. First target, first catch, and a first down.
Let's put that team on the bus.
Jackson, option right. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
And this is where you need the quarterback to morph into being a running back. The ball can't be away from his body. It can't be loose. It can't be held like he's going to throw it. Tuck it away. Take care of it, because he's going to run through a lot of traffic.
And if he doesn't take care of it, we're going to see less design runs like that. Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, looking to catch him off balance.
And he did. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. Stafford now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On 2nd and 11 now. Stafford, and he fires one that's intercepted. picked off by Jair Alexander. And now look at him go. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown.
What you just saw there, first-round talent, second year, even more success. A pick six for a touchdown.
A great play. And it's tough for these guys, you've told me before, to adjust in the secondary as a first-year guy. So that sophomore season is big for them.
They really start to expand the playbook for them even more. Sometimes they dumb it down a little bit to make them comfortable year one. By year two, they should have all the nuances, and now they've adjusted to the speed of NFL play as well.
Showed right there.
Let's go. Let's go.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right? Good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 11 yards there, first down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Pass from Stafford caught by Amendola. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. On first down, it's Stafford. Over the middle, complete. That's James. Now the ball comes loose, and he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. So first and 10 now from the 30. Throwing again is Stafford. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Stafford now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's first and 10. From the red zone now, Stafford. This will be caught just inside the 10. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. Second and 3. Stafford looks to throw again. That is caught at the 7-yard line. Johnson was the intended receiver, and it's third and short.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Throwing to Stafford. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense. Just flooded the field with defensive backs. Blanketed everyone. Took away all the passing angles. Thus, the incompletion.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Please tell me this doesn't come off as snarky. But that's a relative chip shot. I mean, you've got to be able to execute that one. I don't care what they design on the other side about trying to block the kick. That should be 3 points on the board.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. If you're out at 55, 60 yards, low trajectory from here, you get that thing up. This should be 3.
Yeah, there's nothing routine in football, but this one really almost should be. Snap, hold, kick, ball through the post. Didn't happen that way.
He's going to float this one deep right side. Oh, so close to an interception. Read that beautifully. Got his hands on it. Couldn't get it. And it's second down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Devon Kennard in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
I got one. A little flare. Let's go. Right. Zoom.
From the gun, Jackson. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Quandre Diggs there defensively. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
On 3rd down, Jackson. It got his man complete. An excellent gain, 35 yards.
You had to figure they'd take a shot downfield on 3rd and long, so the old cliche came into mind right away for me. Who wants it more? You always hear about receivers, you hear about their hands, their moves, their speed. How about the positioning and the desire to go get that one out of the air?
They go play action here on 1st down. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
Mike 52.
On 2nd down now, it's Jones. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him.
They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Lions will take over. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. I've seen, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here. 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Off of play action, here's Stafford. He sets to fire deep, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. Johnson.
sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Kerryon Johnson, the ball carrier. He was brought down by Blake Martinez.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Stafford on first down. And this is caught at the 8. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. The end result, 21 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. J.D. McKissick, his second touchdown of the night. And the Lions have taken the lead. He's given him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to give a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Jackson to throw. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now he'll square up and throw, trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. There's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open, otherwise just don't do it.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The dump-off gets them only one, and now you're looking at a third down. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on third down. From the gun, here's Stafford. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to bring up a fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
Let's go, fellas.
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Again, it's Jones. The linebacker, Christian Jones, there to make the stop.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On third down, Jackson. And he finds Jimmy Graham. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call it?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him old reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Back now at Lambeau. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. To throw is Jackson. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 37.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together?
Hey, watch this. Watch.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll go again to Jones. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Not at all what they envisioned vision on third down, 3 yards in the wrong direction.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on third down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it, stuffed him for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. The field goal we just saw has us now at a 1-score game, and on this side of the football, things are getting pretty tenuous, a little stressful.
Blood pressure up a little bit, you think?
I think up a lot of it.
Could you imagine taking the pulse right now? It might be like a jackhammer out there on that side of the ball, but here's what the deal is. I think what we've observed is a team that's been playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. And they've got to get back to that. And that means opening things up again, being a little more free than what they're trying to get done on offense.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
They'll run it with Johnson. And this Green Bay defense making that play look a lot like the previous one. Both tackles behind the line of scrimmage.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Defense was thinking run, and they're dealt a pass of just under 20 yards. Stafford now, perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Stafford. This one complete to Lacy. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. On 1st and 10, Stafford got his man complete over the middle. That's James. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Jesse James, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Extra point good by Prater. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This will be fielded at the 8. And an alley to run. And now nothing but green ahead of him. Touchdown, Packers. That a 92-yard kick return as his guys are back within a single score. And that big fourth-quarter return, Charles, makes this a 1-score game.
And now it all comes down to philosophy. All right, they just had the big return for a touchdown, so the momentum is high. Do you want to ride that and go for 2? Or do you just go ahead and kick the extra point and come back and rely on your defense?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
On the ground, this is Johnson. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. The tackle made by Blake Martinez. Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
They cannot hold us down.
Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Over the middle, complete. That's James. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 33. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Stafford now to throw. A gain of 6 there on first. And now here comes the third of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. It's caught outright, Amendola. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 16 yards, a first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now it's Stafford. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. Now the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Johnson. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
This has been an up-and-down, back-and-forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. So the Packers down by 10, a little over 20 seconds to go. And they're in danger of a 3rd straight loss as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Jackson. He's going to let it fly. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
Here's Jackson. And he fends him off. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Dez Bryant, the intended receiver. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And it's 3rd down. The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.